Today, we review and grade the space sharing apps. Hi, I'm John McNeil, and this is the Invest Strong Network. Welcome. So, since 2015, I've operated a small bed and breakfast here in Houston. Now, in that time, I have used a number of various space sharing apps online in order to promote the B&B and bring in customers. Now, this time is a particularly excellent time to review these various platforms as the CV-19 pandemic appears to be waning. The market for space sharing has returned, and in fact returned very strongly in 2022. And so for persons who are interested in doing this, this is what you should look for out of the various platforms. Now, I'm going to break down this particular critique along 5 lines. We're going to grade each platform by reach, access, customer service, the review systems that they operate, and also the commission structure. All right. Now, the first platform that I want to examine is, of course, the trendsetter in the entire space, and that would be Airbnb. Airbnb was the very first platform that I used back when I began in 2015. And in my opinion, it is the class of the bunch. So Airbnb's reach is global. So whether it's North America, Latin America, Europe, Asia, Africa, the Middle East, Oceania, for heaven's sakes, almost anywhere on this planet that you would be interested in setting up shop, Airbnb goes there, right? And I have to give them a 10 for their reach. Now, access. Well, when I talk about access, I mean the ability and the ease of being able to register your property, get it on the site, and have it become active, right? Now, I found that posting my property on Airbnb, the descriptions, the photos, everything was easy breezy. That's what I discovered, right? That was my experience. And so for access, I have to give Airbnb another 10. Customer service. Well, in my experience with them, whenever I had an issue with a guest or a reservation in particular, and I needed to contact their customer service, there was always someone there. They would review the text threads that were exchanged between myself and the guest. They would hammer out a solution, and I always felt that their solutions were fair. I give them a 7.0 on customer service. All right. Now, their review system. One of the things I really like about Airbnb is that their reviews are such that both the property is reviewed and the guest are reviewed, and those reviews follow both of them, right? So there's virtually no chance that someone who has been involved in bad business, either as the operator or as a traveler, they get a review and that review is attached to them. It's almost impossible for them to use the Airbnb system from that point forward because no one else will take them. So that's a very strong system. I love it. That review system gets a 9.5 in my book. All right. Now, their commission structure. I felt that their commission structure was very reasonable. As the operator, it was very reasonable. Most of the commissions are actually paid by travelers, and the commissions for the bookings paid by the operator were very reasonable, in my opinion. And so I give Airbnb an 8.0 on their commission ranking. Overall, I give Airbnb an 8.5 on a scale of 1 to 10. Now, if there's a single detraction I have with Airbnb, it is an extraordinarily political animal, right? And Airbnb has had this tendency when they've brushed up against local opposition or some kind of issue on a local level that has caused them any kind of embarrassment or something, they will, instead of trying to work it out, they'll just sweep all of their listings off the platform for that geographic location. And this is even if the particular property owner is willing to do basically whatever it takes to come in line with what either the local authorities or Airbnb would want them to do. That almost makes no difference as far as Airbnb is concerned. They would much prefer to throw you under the bus and just keep moving forward with the rest of the platform than to work anything out with you. And that kind of sucks, right? That's a big detraction in my book. But overall, if you want to list on Airbnb, I think that is the best of all the online platforms. Now we go to Vrbo. Now I listed on HomeAway, which is the predecessor to the current Vrbo, and I found that their reach was pretty large, right? So I have to give Vrbo a 9 on the reach list. Not quite the extent of Airbnb, but pretty wide. Now, one of the killers though is access. Airbnb Vrbo in 2019 elected to no longer do straight space sharing. In fact, now they will only list properties that are individual dwellings, and that you would have to, as the property owner, you would have to basically make the entire property available for a single booking, right? No more shared space. And so that greatly reduces the access to the market and access for your regular space sharers. So for access, I have to give Vrbo a 4. Customer service, well, I actually had to use customer service quite often with HomeAway Vrbo. I thought that the customer service was pretty good, and so I will give them a 7 on the customer service scale. The review system was very similar to Airbnb. The reviews, both the property and the traveler, were reviewed, and those reviews would follow both of them each place they went. And so the review system, like Airbnb, I will give them a 9.5 out of 10. Commissions, well, their commissions are actually higher, considerably higher than Airbnb's, right? So I will give them a 7.0 out of 10 on the commission scale. Overall, I give Vrbo a 6.5 out of 10. Okay, the next platform I want to critique is Flipkey/TripAdvisor. Now, they have a global reach, and so I have to give Flipkey TripAdvisor a 9.0 on reach. Now, as it relates to the space sharing part of the app, because really TripAdvisor is much larger platform as it relates to hotels, but specifically on the space sharing bed and breakfast aspect of it, I will give them a 9.0 out of 10 on reach. Access, also, almost anyone can set up shop. Their rules are very broad, and so I would give them about a 9.0 on access if you wish to list your property there. Customer service, I hadn't had that many issues with them. I would give them a 6.0 out of 10 on customer service. Now, the review system. Now, this is where things get kind of funky here, because the traveler may review the property and you can rebut the traveler's review, but the review of the traveler does not follow them, right? Your rebuttal will not follow them. And that's a big, big downer, because that basically gives people the power to do some very underhanded stuff with you and then move on to the next property, and you're none the wiser if they do that. Now, I guess TripAdvisor could actually ban them from the system if they've done something really, really bad. But if they just kind of came in and just acted a fool and they were just a horrible guest, there's almost no way for the new property operator to ever know that. 5 out of 10. The commission system, well, their commissions are pretty high. and higher than Airbnb's, actually even higher than VRBO's, 6 out of 10. Overall, I give FlipKey TripAdvisor 6.5 out of 10. All right. The next is Booking.com. Booking.com has a global reach like Airbnb and VRBO and FlipKey TripAdvisor, 10. Access. Actually pretty easy to set up shop on Booking.com as a B&B or space sharer, 9.5 out of 10. Customer service. Woo, now that's a big problem because I've had some issues with some Booking.com payment issues and things like that, working with their credit department and their customer service. They do not work in sync. I've had some nightmare experiences with their customer service, 2 out of 10. Review system. Again, like FlipKey TripAdvisor, the guest may review the property. The property, they can then rebut the guest, but that reply will not follow the guest, freeing them up to go to the next property and do their nonsense at the next property, with the next property operator being unaware of what they've done previously. That is a big downer. And when you mix that with the customer service issues, I have to give Booking.com a 4 out of 10 on the review system. Commissions are kind of high, certainly compared to Airbnb. They are 6.5 out of 10. Overall, I give Booking.com a 5.5 out of 10 on the scale. All right. The next, Homestay. Now, Homestay is a platform that's operated out of Europe, and but it has the access to some persons here in North America. Now, I've only actually had, I believe, 2 Homestay guests in the 3 years that I've listed on there. Their reach is not very far. Both of the guests that I've had have been American guests, no European guests, no Latin American guests, no African guests, no Asian guests. So I'm going to give them a 3 out of 10 on reach. Access, well, it's pretty easy to set up shop on Homestay. It was as easy as it was with the other platforms. I'll give them a 9 out of 10 on that. Now, as it relates to customer service and the review system and even their commission systems, I'm going to give an incomplete on those 3 because I just have not had a large enough sampling to be able to really give them a grade. So overall, with the Homestay platform, I will give an incomplete to the entire platform, as I just have not been able to really get a large number of homestay reservations in Houston, right? Now, interestingly enough, I would say my best listing of all of them have been Google, right? So having my B&B listed on Google is great. First of all, there's that global reach again, 10.0. It's easy as pie to do it, 10.0. Customer service, well, there's really no customer service on a Google setup, right? So, we can give them basically a 2.0 on customer service. The review system, well, the guests, can leave a review. You can reply to the review. The review does not follow them, but the review stays in memoriam to you. Kind of a downer, but we'll give them a 5.0 on the review system. And you don't pay any commissions when you list on Google, so we'll give them a 10 out of 10 on that. Overall, my Google listing has been probably the best thing I've ever done, right? Because it allows people to globally see my B&B, review the pictures, give me a call. We can set up a reservation. Now, I would have to collect payment from them, whereas Airbnb, VRBO, FlipKey, and Booking.com will all collect payment and then render it to you. With Homestay and with Google, you are responsible for collecting the payment, and even though they may make the reservation and you can accept their reservation. When they show up, you have to collect their payment. So that's something to keep in mind. All right, so hope you found this video interesting and informative. If you're interested in setting up a B&B, I think it'll go a long way towards helping you figure out which one, and maybe even a combination of them, that you'd want to use for your space sharing business. All right. If you found it interesting, hit that thumbs up button. I'd appreciate it. I really, really would. And of course, comment if you've tried it or are interested in trying space sharing. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear from you. I'll respond to each one. And of course, subscribe. Please subscribe to Invest Strong. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much, friends, and good blessings.